episode 11 of the Captain and the Real Deal podcast. Today's episode recaps the Week 6 games and then analyzes the Week 7 matchups for their respective teams, the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings. They also will discuss how well they did predicting the other Week 6 games, as well as recapping the results from their Week 6 fantasy matchups.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Damen und Herren, it's time for the podcast featuring Captain Vuk and Billy Gold, aka The Real Deal. This is the only place that's talking Hawks and Kings, but to be specific, we're talking Seattle Seahawks and Minnesota Vikings. So strap up. We're taking you on a fantastic voyage, unlike any you've ever been on, so sit back and get ready to set sail to the emerald-rich lands of the Seattle Seahawks and the treasure-filled valleys of the Minnesota Vikings with your hosts, Captain Vuk and Billy Gold, aka The Real Deal. Let's get it.
Welcome back, football fans, the Scolders, and of course, the 12s.
Emerald Nation.
To episode 11 of the Captain and the Real Deal podcast. I'm Billy Gold, along with my co-host, Captain Vuk.
What's cracking, y'all?
And the Maverick on the ones and twos. Our production engineer, Mike Top Gun Cruz.
Buzz the tower for him. Buzz the tower for him. That's it.
All right, we have another great episode. He's going to fly by again. He always does. Week to week. When we don't know what to do sometimes, but he's flying by again. All right, another great episode in store for you today as we're going to recap the Week 6 games and take a deep dive into the Week 7 matchups for our respective teams. We also will predict the outcomes of all the Week 7 games, as well as discussing our fantasy football teams, which right now are going to be in a little disarray with all the bye weeks coming. But we're going to discuss the results from the Week 6 matchups and our projected Week 7 lineups. Big shakeup in my lineup due to all the byes. As always, I suggest you fill up your solo cup. Just don't spill over the top. Sit back and get ready for another, as Lakeside would say, fantastic voyage. Hey, Cap.
What's happening, my man?
You ready?
Always.
To roll?
Always ready to rock and roll, brother. This is the captain speaking. Yes, we had a rough ride this past Sunday while in the Pittsburgh area. Immediately after takeoff, B Gold, we experienced some offensive engine problems.
I thought it was turbulence.
Yeah, we had that too. We had to deal with both of those issues, and we got off to a bad start. But we did find a smooth sector in the second half, but the end of the journey was not ideal for us 12s or the squad. So now, for you glass half empty folks in the Emerald Nation and anyone else who likes to lock in on the empty line of thinking, I know that we lost in overtime. I know that we didn't score in the first half. I know we fumbled in overtime, setting up the Steelers for the easy kick-in win. That was not earned. That was a gift. Now, for you glass half full folks out there, be glad you're on this flight, because although it may seem rough right now, our glass actually is half full, and I will offer the toast. Stay tuned. Be gold. Let's go.
All right, good optimism. Gotta love it.
All day.
All right, let's start today with some questions and then open items. And we're good with the open items. So, Cap, my first question, it comes out of something that we talked about last week, and I figured, we didn't ask each other. We keep talking about ice cream. What is your go-to flavor? And if it's not available, what is your second choice? Hang on. I'm going to follow it up with the last thing. Does the brand matter?
the brand may not matter, but the flavor does. So number one, if I can get it, some cotton candy swirl.
Cotton candy swirl.
I'll knock that out the box. And I can always, fall back on the old favorites, the vanilla and strawberry. But I like to try new stuff and see if I can find something exotic out there. So there's some birthday cake ice cream out there.
I've tasted that
with some sprinkles in it. You know what? That's a nice way to spend some time.
I'm a little old school with that. And I always wondered why Haagen-Dazs, all they make is they don't make the gallons. They make those little tiny pints.
Yeah,
right?
For small appetites.
Right.
Perhaps.
So, but there's nobody that makes chocolate chip ice cream except for Haagen-Dazs. Well, that I know of.
Is that your go-to?
It is the bomb, but they're killing me. They're killing my wallet. Let me buy a gallon.
You got to check out Friendly's. They got a whole lot of options.
You know what? Friendly's is my go-to ice cream for chocolate chip ice cream,
but not chocolate.
There's no chocolate. Now they kind of cookies and cream and dark this and cookie that and pieces of this. I want chocolate chip ice cream. Haagen-Dazs has nailed it. So the brand does matter to me. My flavors, I'm old school. I like chocolate chip ice cream from Friendly's, and I like Turkey Hill. I did a tour of the factory.
Turkey Hill puts in work.
I took my daughter and my wife. Me and my wife took my daughter to Hershey Park, and right near there's the Turkey Hill factory, and we went in there and we got to make your own flavor of ice cream. And I went chocolate. I could check anything I check out for chocolate. I did. So Turkey Hill, the tour was really cool. We've gone to Hershey Park for years and years and years after my daughter got over her allergy to milk, and that's ice cream. We talk about ice cream so I've been hearing it for weeks and weeks and weeks. I had to throw that question out there.
Well, I remember last week you spoke about the individual who said, that was one of his things, ice cream, and you mentioned it correctly. There is no such thing as bad ice cream, and the fans know how serious you take menu items and food. Yes. So doesn't surprise me that you broke it down like that.
You know what?
That's good.
If there's a meeting, if somebody books a meeting at 12 o'clock.
Oh boy, I don't even want to go there.
And here's why. If you book a meeting at 12 o'clock, I already eat lunch like by 11 or 11:30, especially if I got to go somewhere to get it, because I'm not waiting in line behind anybody. I'm hungry. I want my food. But if you're going to book something, you're going to book a meeting for 11, 11:30 or 12, you better have a menu item that I can select from, or I'm not coming. I'm not. Or
will miss work.
Or I will run down the hallway and find anybody that can go up to the carts and get me some food, so I could turn off my live view and put my screenshot face on there, and then I'm jamming down a burrito, usually a burrito, and whatever. But I mean, do not make meetings during lunchtime unless you are bringing a spread.
And we know that's not happening on a regular basis.
Not anymore. It used to happen a lot more.
Right.
But you know what? When we get a little bit further down the road, the real deal will be calling people out. You cannot do this any longer.
That is interesting. And the fact that was a food question.
Yeah, it went on a little longer than I thought.
Now, do you have another one?
No, that was it.
Okay.
That was it.
Well, that's funny because the question for Be Gold, and I have one for the Real Deal also, is related to food. So let's get into it.
We love food.
Be Gold, when you treat yourself to an amazing meal, what is your weakness when it comes to your most desirable food?
My weakness? When you say weakness, expand a little bit on it. What do you mean?
That means when it's in front of you or you see it on the menu, it has to show up on the table.
Well, it depends on where I'm at, because my all-time favorite dish is veal parmesan.
Okay.
But I used to watch, I still watch the Food Network, but Emerald's not as much. But they used to have the favorite thing I've ever tasted or ate. And there was a restaurant in New York called Il Vagabondo.
Okay, I like the fact that it has a V in it. That's pretty cool.
Il Vagabondo. And they had a little bocce court in their lower level.
Okay,
and
those are good.
It was an Italian place. And we used to go to New York just so I could get veal parmesan, but nobody can make it like them. So when I see it on the menu, I say,
does it match up?
Is it? I'm not at El Vagabondo. Should I give it a try? Nope.
You don't trust it.
Got to go safe. So what I typically do is I order something with hot cherry peppers, and then I know I'm going to love it. And you can make a couple mistakes with ingredients, but if there's hot cherry peppers in there, it kind of just overwhelms what else they messed up on and
Covers up mistakes.
Exactly. So
It's like a good defensive back or a good linebacker.
exactly, it's like a cover two. You know, you throw the hot cherry peppers out there, and you're going to do it. But if I had my druthers, it would be really good veal parmesan.
Okay.
With a side of capellini.
Well, you might as well go straight to dessert then. What's for dessert when you got...
Well, the reason I say capellini is many people cook pasta wrong. I am not Italian, but I can cook with the best of Italians, and I challenge you, I can cook with you.
He just threw the gauntlet down out there. So if you know be gold,
I can cook with you.
and you want to get your skills against his skills,
Exactly.
I'll witness it, and I know Top Gun will be there.
Exactly. By the way, since we're talking about cooking, we're going way off script here. This isn't even on me, but just so everyone out there knows, we have had a chili contest for forever. It was shut down last year, but I have won. I'm the only 3-time winner, and I won back to back and belly to belly. And you'll hear this later on in this episode because I have it for something else. But I still hold the 3.5-foot trophy in my office. And by the way, if you're ever on a Zoom call with me, just look over my right shoulder and you will see it proudly right displayed right behind me. So, boy, we really went off on this, but
We did.
chili, and you know what? They changed the rules of chili. And we're going up. They changed the rules of chili because it was just straight up chili and you had beans or no beans. And you could use whatever meat you want, but all of a sudden, they're doing giant mushrooms and all this cinnamon and all this kind of crazy stuff, but it was not the regular chili. So my last victory, which reclaimed the trophy after I had 1 year of absence from having it, I actually fried up some hot dogs and put them in the chili, and it was pretty good because, well, it must have been pretty good. I won!
Yeah, I don't miss the chili tastings, and I actually have had your chili and gave it high marks.
Exactly.
Some competition out there too.
Boy,
though.
we went way off on that one, but let's move on.
We did. So let's real quick get a question in for the real deal. This is not related to food. Who is the real deal's favorite professional heavyweight boxer of all time, and why?
Wow.
A lot to choose from.
No, you know what? I respect Muhammad Ali because he's kind of like Deion Sanders to me. He backs up what he says. And I can live with him being the greatest. I also was a big fan of Mike Tyson until he lost Gus. Gus D'Amato. When Gus left, he kind of thought he could beat anybody, and
he had some bad kind of leadership jump into his life.
Yeah, and Buster Douglas was able to take a punch, and I was at a restaurant in New Haven when I saw him get knocked out. But those are not my favorite fighters. I have two, typically, because I usually have a backup. My original favorite fighter was Smoking Joe Frazier.
Okay, I have him listed.
Smoking Joe Frazier.
No doubt.
That was my guy. And you know what? I got that from my dad. My dad was a Smoking Joe Frazier guy. And that's one thing my dad passed along to me that I accepted. I wasn't accepting the Giants. No, never.
You still don't.
I don't. That was just, but Smoking Joe, my dad passed on to me. My second guy.
So Joe's number one?
Joe's number one.
Okay.
And I got a 1A. I got a 1A.
Who's 1A? My
1A. And I'm not a big fan of these guys. These guys, oh, I tapped you, I got a point. I tapped you, I got another point. I'm not a big fan of that. So that would be Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard should be, and I'll touch on this guy later, might as well be Brent Musburger. And I know you're not going to get the correlation right now, but you'll get it later.
Well, yeah, he's not heavyweight, though, so he doesn't.
Well, all right, so you left heavyweight. Okay, well, yeah, I was going boxing.
That weight class was tremendous.
Yeah, Marvin Hagler was my guy there.
Oh, yeah, Hagler was no
okay,
joke.
So I'm sorry.
Tommy Hearns, too, though.
When Tommy Hitman Hearns, but Hagler was my guy.
Duran?
Yeah, until he just kind of, what do you say, no mas?
Yes, he did.
Okay, well, you know, Billy Gold will never say no mas. Okay. You know, hammy. You could tear my hammy. I'm running sprints, whatever I got to do. So I liked Roberto Duran too until he said no mas. But I'm sorry, you did say heavyweights. Heavyweight, it's Smoking Joe Frazier. And by the way, I did not like George Foreman when he initially came out, but I grew to love him. After he got the grill going.
That would get you in.
And he softened up. He softened up. He became a different guy. He didn't know how to work the system back early, but he really evolved into it.
He's still doing it.
So what do you got, Cap?
That was it.
Oh, so you have to answer the same. Absolutely, you have to answer the same question.
Okay, it's no problem. So Muhammad Ali, I have to give him 1 because he set the tone for a lot of these folks. But my 1A is Evander Holyfield.
Holyfield, okay.
And the reason why is because of his heart. He had the heart of a lion, and he went into the ring against Tyson with zero fear. And when you go into the ring with somebody like that with no fear, they may not be used to that.
You got a chance.
And he had a chance, and he has an iron jaw too, Holyfield, and so
absolutely
he was willing to take a punch and give him out. And,
great fighter. No, much respect for Evander Holyfield. I actually, he kind of falls similar to Muhammad Ali for me. Respect, great fighter. I just like the fact that Smoking Joe, he
was a shorter guy too.
But he'd give you that combo, and Muhammad Ali. You talk to Muhammad Ali with Joe Frazier, you're going to hear some good respect.
There were some great fighters.
Great fighter.
Larry Holmes, Rocky Marciano, Leon Spinks, whole bunch of them.
Absolutely. All right, cool. So, boy, we took that first section.
We took a reroute.
Way out of loop. Top Gun's going.
Took us off
Top Gun's going. Usually have 10 minutes for that segment. You're like 24. That's how we roll. All right, let's move on to some open items from the previous episodes. Open item number 1. Cap, would you like to go first, or should I take the honors?
I'm going to take the honors.
You sure?
All right.
Because if you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right. Because, I need a little break here.
Yeah, episode 9, I had said that Jamal Adams and Quandre Diggs were leading the league in tackles. It's partly true. They don't lead the entire league in tackles, but I was speaking on it in relation to safeties in the league, not all positions. So I wanted to clear that up. And then number 2, we were speaking about Quandre Diggs leading the league in interceptions. That's not accurate. Quandre has 2, and he's leading the Seahawks, but the leader in the league is Trayvon Diggs for them Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, it's Stefan's brother.
And they're looking good, actually. Dallas.
And he's a good player, and you know what? A lot of teams passed on him. They're going to regret that.
That's true.
All right. Is that your open item?
That's it.
All right, good. So let's go to mine. Number, do I have 1 or 2? I have, let me check. Let me check page 3 here. So I have an open item number 2, but we're going to save that for next week. So let's get to the open item number 1. Mike Zimmer. I promised a nickname for Mike Zimmer.
You did.
Yeah. So we're going to go through a few things here. I'm still working on it, but let's start with a temporary nickname because I've reached out to the Cap. I've reached out to some other individuals, and I'm just not sold on it. So I'm going to go with this one. Right now, Mike Zimmer's nickname is the cornerback whisperer. What is he whispering? We need to listen more closely. Because it ain't working! Under Coach Zimmer, the Vikings, they draft cornerbacks at an alarming rate with picks in very early rounds. Mostly 1 and 2. Mostly 1 and 2. Let's talk about them.
Let's hear it. I want to hear this.
Let's talk about him. 2015, Trey Waynes, first round pick. He's now with the Bengals. 2016, Mackenzie Alexander. He was put in Zimmer's doghouse, and we'll talk about doghouses. He left for the Bengals for 1 year. Now he's back for more pain. What's Mackenzie? Okay, 2018, Mike Hughes, first round pick. He's now with the Chiefs. He's not even starting. 2020, we had 2 of them. 2 of them.
It's a bad trend.
Jeff Gladney, unemployed after domestic abuse.
Oh, that's not good.
And again,
not funny.
In 2020, Cameron Dantzler, he's currently in Zimmer's doghouse. Let's talk about doghouses. Because I have a subject matter expert on doghouses.
Yes, you do.
His name is Wilson.
That's correct.
Wilson has his own response to being put in a doghouse. I'm no longer man's best friend. I will soil your rug. I will dig holes in the yard. And I will run up your vet bills.
sounds like pain after pain after pain.
That's Wilson. And, he had to sing. Okay. Coach, please.
Coach Zimmer.
Stop drafting cornerbacks. You ain't got this. Check your record. Okay. So I looked up Zimmer in the dictionary.
Was there something there?
Yes, there was.
I can't wait to hear this.
And the spelling they had was Failure. Failure.
That's brutal. That's your coach.
That was in Webster. I didn't write it.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Maybe a short poem. But now, if you checked out our bonus episodes, we actually did a couple poems and underlaid some music to them. Well, there's no music under this one. I'm just giving you a short poem. We're still on open item number 1.
Oh, man, it's getting derailed.
Coach Zimmer, don't be scared to be a winner. The team depends on you to lead them to the W. Tired of watching you be afraid. Your team has skills that need to be displayed. We waited for you to adjust your plan. But if you can't do it, admit it like a man. The real deal can take the reign and relieve the franchise from this pain. He will lead this team to where it needs to be, somewhere you could never achieve. As I close this poem out, replacing Zimmer, there is no doubt.
Wow, that came from the heart. That must have kept you up late at night to get that off your chest. Do you feel better?
No. No.
You got a lot off your chest.
Have you watched the last 2 weeks? No, I don't feel better.
Hey, we got our own troubles.
And by the way, as Jerry Burns said, we won the game.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it though, does it?
All right.
At least you got to win though.
Yeah, exactly. We're back at 503-3. All right, open item number 2. I promised the audience that I do something on the Solo Cup. So with the Vikings being on a bye next week, I will drop the knowledge then.
That's fair. All right, let me pick it up from here. So listen, on that note, we promised you all that we were going to do this, and we believe we are finally set up for it. And this is very special. So Top Gun, our production engineer extraordinaire, is going to be setting up, and he's doing it right now, setting up some of the correct procedures and getting some of the right connections made, because this is not normal. But we promised we would get call-ins, and we're going to give our first demo a try today. Now, this connection is very far-reaching, so I really need you to bear with us. But that's what we're setting up. Top Gun is working hard behind the controls, and we're ready to give it a shot. So let's see how this goes. I'm hearing ringing.
Hello, this is Odin.
Odin, this is Captain Vuk. I'm reaching out to you from Earth on behalf of The Real Deal. He had said that he was going to try to set up an interview with you and us for this podcast that we've been working on, and I hope that word got to you, sir.
Yes, Captain Vuk. The Real Deal has spoken highly of you.
Well,
it is your honor to speak with me today. I am seated at the round table, drinking from the skull of the fallen enemy with the warriors who have proven themselves, and I know the Scolders are very familiar with. The newest members to enter Valhalla, Randy Moss and Steve Hutchinson, are with me today, along with Mick Tingelhoff, Chris Dolman, Ron Yeri, and Randall McDaniel, who just recently returned from executing the Jallarhorn at the recent home game against your Seattle Seahawks. The rest of the Warriors are unavailable today. Cap, what is on your mind?
Well, first, again, thank you, sir, for the time that you're giving to us. And I do want to congratulate your new inductees, Randy Moss and Steve Hutchinson. of joining the Hall of Fame. The first question, sir, and I'll be direct, is this. Can you please tell our listeners why the Minnesota Vikings did not win a Super Bowl with Chris Carter, Randy Moss, Steve Hutchinson, and the many other talented Minnesota Vikings? We feel like they should have gotten a Super Bowl ring, and we just don't know why, but we know you do know why.
Cap, great question. Those men were and are warriors. Sometimes the battle does not go in your favor. However, they continue to this day to be true winners.
Thank you, sir. The next question is...
Hang on, Cat.
Yes,
Hang
sir.
on 1 second. What is this? A round of mead for everyone.
I like this guy. I'll wait till he tells me he's ready.
Go ahead, Cap.
Okay, sir, here we go. When Vikings go hunting for sustenance, what is the preferred method of obtaining their prey?
The preferred method is to have the front four put the pressure on the opposing leader and drop him to the ground.
We need you on our coaching staff. That's exactly what we need, sir. Next question. I know your time is valuable, so we do appreciate this. But the next question is there a Viking code? And if so, can you tell us one or two of the rules a true Viking should live by?
A true Viking should fight to the end, never succumb to the enemy, and bring home the rewards from the battle.
Outstanding. Sir, I know your time is valuable, like I said earlier, and I can't thank you enough for your time on behalf of The Real Deal, on behalf of B Gold, on behalf of everyone here at this show, Top Gun and myself. We just thank you for your time. We were hoping to do this, and we are glad to have made this happen.
Hang on 1 sec, Cap. What's this? Where's the round of mead for everyone? Hey, Captain Book, in closing today,
Yes, sir.
while we're waiting for the mead, let me tell you that B Gold and The Real Deal have earned their spots in Valhalla. There still is time for you to change your ways and follow the examples they live by if you want to be considered for entry. Changing over to purple would be a good first step.
I appreciate the offer and respectfully decline. I will never, ever leave the Emerald Nation and will always respect a good battle, especially when it's against welcome and common warriors, just like you
Best of luck
and your
in battles
team.
going forward. Best of luck.
Thank you, Odin. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a heck of a connection that you made there, Top Gun, because that was outside of this world for sure. I don't know how you did it, but we appreciate it. And we're just thankful that we got our first call in. So that was good stuff. Now I got to ask B Gold, what he thought about that, because that was something special. I am very appreciative, as I think hopefully you listeners are. Some of the stuff that Odin said, I could ride with that.
I would say this, Cap. When I set this up, Odin said, "Who?" And I say, you know what? Very respected individual, and I'd be honored if you could speak with him. So we thank Odin, and we have a lot more of those fans and enemies and everybody we can get on the phone to get on the show with us.
I like his mindset. I like what he said about you need 4 up front. Now, I recommended a 5-man front on my defense, but same concept.
The Vikings have always played front 4, with the 3 linebackers, traditional, and
Absolutely.
they've always got the pressure out of the 4. They didn't need the 5. All right, let's move on.
That's good.
To a tip of the cap from the Cap.
All right, so initially I was considering giving it to the Chicago fan that gave Aaron Rodgers that hand gesture during his selfish touchdown run. But
I own you. Is that the one?
yeah, he said, I still own you and all that stuff, which was kind of funny. But my real tip of the cap goes to Alex Collins from the Seattle Seahawks. He gets the tip for me. You got Chris Carson out of commission right now. It's next Hawk up. We're on the road, hostile environment, extra pressure on him as a running back to help his newly inserted quarterback handle his business. Alex Collins ran 20 times for 101 yards, a $101. He averaged 5 yards a clip. He stepped up big and not only helped Geno Smith, he helped the team. So well done, AC, a.k.a. always cool.
And you started him in your fantasy too, right?
That's affirmative. I did something right in my fantasy team.
You know,
not a lot, though.
You should have did Drake as well.
I know. I left a lot of points on the bench.
Drake had a big game. And by the way, he might have taken over Jacob's role.
Well, he'll be starting again for me this week, as you'll hear later. But
exactly.
AC never panics, and I like that. So hats off, my man.
All right, tip of the cap, as always, from the cap. So now we move to the real deal moment of the week. However, it's not from this week. This is actually from last week, but I needed to get it in here.
Let's hear it.
After the win over the Lions. Three of them. 3 you like that in Zim's face from Cousins.
Yeah.
Check the video.
Yeah,
Looked like Zim did not like it.
It did.
I did.
Thanks for sending that to me, too. That was cool.
Was that cool?
Yeah. He's fired up.
Exactly. He was fired up, and he pushing the coach and poking the coach.
That was a little wild.
And Zim was like, "What are you doing?" But you know what? Oh, I don't want to call you old man Zim, but Cousins would have kicked your butt.
I don't know what that was about.
Yeah, exactly. I think
that emotion that some people don't understand. Exactly. Football's very emotional.
It's very emotional. And by the way, podcasts are very emotional too, because we get questions all the time on. You guys are pretty fired up. Yeah, we're fired up. Yes, we watch these guys get fired up, and we get fired up.
No doubt.
So, okay. Woo. All right. So, something we have coming up in the next couple weeks, if I can get everybody to buy in, which I'm not getting right now, but I'm working on it. I've been outside doing my 40-yard dash time trials
at night
for the show. In the cover of darkness. I have completed my dry runs, and I am ready for action. The average man, according to Google, who could always be your best friend, says that it should be about 5.5 to 6 seconds.
For what age group or what?
For the averge man. So they're saying 30 to 50.
So 5.5 seconds.
5.5 seconds. Now, I don't know what a typical 40-yard dash is for a pro.
It depends on your position. They have some ranges.
So am I running with like a 400-pound defensive lineman? Is that what I'm running with?
Yeah, some D linemen.
Exactly. So I can't guarantee you that the stopwatch was correct because I was running and stopping it.
And it was night.
And
who knows
I couldn't see
if Meade was involved? Who knows?
but I definitely was under 6 seconds. And you know what? I've set the course. I'm going to show Captain Book and Top Gun the course after the show tonight. And this is upcoming. And if we have to do it for charity, we'll do it for charity. We'll get some people to say, if you can stay under 6 seconds, we'll pitch into the charity of our choice. And we're, with the holidays coming up, I'm sure we could do something fun.
Yep.
We'll have to get some official timekeeping
and have a couple paramedics on standby.
A couple paramedics, because I was when I was frustrated a couple weeks ago, I was doing wind sprints in the backyard and I pulled my hammy.
And that's during the daytime.
That's during the daytime.
But you did heal quickly though. You heal faster than the average man.
Exactly.
You're back at it, running a couple times this week.
All right, so let's move on to the week 6 recaps. Cap, would you like to lead the way with the week 6 recaps?
Oh, of course, because you got the dub, I got the L. But can I kick off the Bam Bam Award first?
Absolutely.
All right, so listen, Najee Harris, the loved rookie for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, good player.
And he's a heck of a player.
Yeah, he's a good player.
With 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in the second quarter, on 3rd and 6 on our 15-yard line, you got Bam Bam by Jamal Adams. Now, Jamal, that could have been a penalty because you appear to have led with your head, which is dangerous for everybody involved, but it was not flagged. However, you may get fined for that, my man, so be careful. But you did Bam Bam the rookie, so well done.
All right, good. You want to take the recap of
the painful?
Yeah, well,
yeah.
You call. I'm not saying nothing.
No, it was a painful deal, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was we lost the game 23-20 in overtime. But you know how this game started out for us, B Gold?
I do not.
Okay. Not only did everybody and their dog, and maybe Wilson was involved in this too, they picked us to lose, but even my guy Jeffrey Goldblum from Jurassic Park fame and other motion pictures and commercials, he hit up the Emerald Nation with he hit up the entire nation with a video intro voiceover that literally said the Seahawks are not real.
Wow.
And I was like, what? And then he tried to put some science behind it. And I was like, okay, what the flip? And then they had a camera shot of DMC from my group, Run DMC, on the field. Guess what he was doing? He was twirling a terrible towel. He's a huge Pittsburgh Steelers fan. No. So I'm like, what? The first concert I ever went to go see was Run DMC back in the T-Dome in the City of Destiny. And the concert was off the hook, by the way.
He's disrespecting you.
Yeah, just doing us bad. So that's besides the point that the concert was good.
Is he from Pittsburgh?
Either he is or
what?
I don't know. I thought he was from Hollis, Queens, but I don't know.
That's what they say, but we might.
I don't know what Daryl Mack is really from, so we should actually fact check that. But now this is before kickoff, though. This is before the darn kickoff, and I'm starting to think about how the refs jacked us up in Super Bowl 40 now on February 5th, 2006, when D-Jack. That was not a push off, my man. That was a touchdown, and everybody in the Emerald Nation knows it. But back to the game. At this point, like I said, I'm kind of like questioning whether, we're about to get set up for another touch by these refs. And I'm thinking, nah, I can't believe that. So I get back to my optimism, which I like to return to on a regular basis. We win the toss. You know what happens when Seahawks win the toss? We defer to the second half.
Typically, most teams do that now.
They took it from us. So here we go. First play of defense now. This is the kickoff team coming in. And I love this part of the game, B-Go. But you know what happened next?
What happened?
The Steelers take the kickoff and return it. But I need you to check this out because this is some garbage. Take a look at this. First play of the game. I'm giving B-Gold a picture of a clear clip. A guy pushing and hitting our guy in the back, directly in the area, right at the 15-yard line, where our guy was poised to make the flipping tackle.
It looks like, you sure he wasn't trying to help him up?
No, he was blasting the guy. He's blasting our Seahawk in the back.
This play is
it's so obvious.
But it's the most called penalty in the NFL.
And they should have called it there.
They should have called it. And by the way, they have to figure this out because
they need to.
Yeah, on a punt, a kickoff, there's always a block in the back. So they have to figure this out because we don't need this in the game. It slows things down. They have to change the rule or they have to make the penalty more severe so it doesn't happen.
Because it happens all the time.
Correct.
And so the guy goes for another 15 yards. He gets tackled at the 30 by Jason Myers, the kicker, DJ Dallas, a running back, and Ryan Neal, our safety. So we
got past the first line of defense.
Yeah, we still coming at you, though, but it's just like, come on, refs. Don't start the game like that after all the baggage and damage they've given us.
2 seconds into the game.
Yeah. So, but check out the stat line on the quarterbacks really quickly before everybody wants to hate on Geno. And I don't think that's happening, but Geno was 23 for 302 yards. 23 for 30, I'm sorry, with 209 yards and a touchdown. Big Ben was 29 for 40 with 229 yards and a touchdown.
Geno has talent.
And it was his first game with a week of preparation. And Alex Collins, as I mentioned earlier, he ran for over 101 yards. He looked good. He helped out the offense. Travis Homer and DJ Dallas, our two other running backs, did a great job to support our offense. Travis had a real nice come up on a big third down play where he caught the rock, shook and broke somebody's ankles and bolted upfield. We ran the ball B-Goal for 27 times, 144 yards. That's not a bad output. As an offense, we quietly put up 353 yards with a QB who had 1 week of preparation. Geno hit 10 different receivers. You can't ask for much more than that. What we can ask for, and we've been asking for it, and they were actually in surgery last week, was our defensive pass rush. It's not here. What is going on, B-Gold? The wide receivers got the rest of the balls outside of the tight ends and running backs, but Geno didn't throw any interceptions either. So just quickly jumping over to the defense. Kick returns, we had 3 for 97 yards, average of 32.3, outstanding. DJ Dallas is taking care of business and putting in work. The punting game was tight. We had 8 punts, which I don't like, but he did average 45.5 yards with one of them in the end with the red zone inside the 20. So we'll take that. Our kicker, Mr. Myers, he was 2 for 2. That's good stuff. We just need our defensive rush to get going now. That's the missing link. 0 sacks, while poor Gino took 4 hits, and one of them was by 2 guys. And each time he got sacked, it was critical. So on the defensive side of the ball, something positive. DJ Reed, keep balling. He's on them receivers like sweat in a hatband, B Gold. I'm not kidding. He is on. They tried to test him deep a couple of times. He was right there knocking stuff away, saying, nah, it ain't happening here. And we got a rookie, Trey Brown from Oklahoma. He looks like he wants to stay on the field too. So with those two, not giving the huge separation.
Much better than Trey Flowers.
Yeah, and I'm going to touch on Trey Flowers now that you said that.
Did he sign with anybody yet?
He did. He signed with Cincinnati. And while I'm there, that was a failed experiment, man. Trey's not a freaking corner.
No.
He's a safety.
Exactly. They tried to convert him.
And they try to force it for 4 years in a row. Let that man play safety, or if he ain't going to make the roster.
We had that conversation after I showed you the article.
We did. I mean, and I hope he balls out at Cincinnati as a safety. And if he, I don't think it's a scheme thing. I think he just needs to be at safety. That's where he's supposed to be at. So I know Seattle Socrates can't stand him and was ecstatic that he left, but if you're
going to play him out of position and he can't grasp it,
yeah.
How much can you put the blame on him?
Right.
Like you said, I like what you said, failed experiment.
Yeah, I think it was. And I like the corners that we have now. They're playing much tighter coverage. They're challenging the receivers a lot more. And we have Sidney Jones, the youngster from UW, in the building, trying to get him some reps on the field too. And Diggs and Neal, I love them at safety. Now, I don't know if you watched our game or not, but
I did.
It did look like they were running some of that 5-2 monster, and I call it quick clot because of the surgery they were in last week. But that 5-2 was running a little bit, and Jamal was getting an impact on the game.
2 different halves.
Yeah, completely. No scores in the first half. We scored in the second half, made it a game. We haven't been blown out by anybody, and we just need to get 4 quarters. When we get them, and I know I'm asking for it, it's going to be nice, but the D-line has got to get to the QB. That's missing.
Pretty much what Odin said, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I like our run defense a lot. We hold people down. We have a couple breaks here and there, but one break or explosive play a game or two shouldn't kill your team.
Exactly.
So D-line, get your work done. When I was a kid, this is digressing a little bit. When I was a kid, you know what motivated me? Missing the dinner. If my mom said, boy, if you do that again, you ain't going to eat dinner tonight. I did everything I could under my power to control whatever I was not doing correctly so that I could eat with my brothers and family that night because I love eating.
You got to eat.
So, and real quick, the person that wrote that Legion of Boom headline, the Legion of Boom dissolved 8 years ago, man, when Cam Chancellor retired.
I looked up something. I watched fantasy football, NFL fantasy football, the update, and it was Kimmy Chris, I think her name was. And I missed what she said, but she had something for the Legion of Boom. I searched all day today and could not find it.
You couldn't find it?
Kimmy Chris, Kimmi Chris. She's a host.
Yeah,
she's been
NFL Network.
2018. I heard the Legion of Boom, and she had another name for it, and I missed it.
Another derogatory name?
I don't know because I missed it, and I was like, I can't believe I missed it. I searched, and I couldn't find it. So I'll have to put some more effort into that.
All right, and I don't mean derogatory. I mean negative, but it's all in fun, But I would like to see whoever wrote that have them run a crossing route against our defense and see how they make out.
Exactly. All right.
Probably not well.
Here's my thoughts on the Seattle-Pittsburgh game.
What you got?
The Seahawks were simply awful in the first half, but they stormed back in the second half where I really saw an inspired and well-coached team. The offensive line was dominant in the second half,
yes,
despite not having all their starters. Gino played well, but as I stated I stated in episode 10, our backup QB Geno Smith played admirably, and he did. He did play admirably. He can't and never has been able to stay away from the critical mistake. Hopefully that changes under the coaching from Pete Carroll, who is one of the brilliant minds of all time. But Geno, his history, he can't stay away from the big mistake. There you go. That's the clip from episode 10 that Billy Gold, with a little help from the real deal. I've watched Geno Smith. I have friends who are Jet fans, and that's his history. And while he plays great in spurts, he makes that mistake. This is what has soured teams on investing in Geno as a starter.
I tell you what, because I was listening to that episode again today, and when you said that, it was painful.
It resonated.
Because I'm like, it came true. And he did own it.
He did.
And he made the critical
and he always
error.
has.
He's got to know you got to protect the ball. So the point I want to take away from that game, though, is that we could have easily tucked tail at halftime, coming out 14-0.
No.
We've already got a losing streak.
Offensive line was huge.
We did not quit, man.
Exactly.
They don't roll like that.
I got one other observation.
Let's hear it.
During the Pittsburgh-Seattle game, I saw a new Subway commercial. Did
Which
you
one?
see it?
I don't even recall. I might have blacked out during the commercials, waiting for the next play.
It featured Russell Wilson. Glad to see he's not just sitting home and he's finding other ways to supplement his income.
You know what? Russell's a wise businessman, number one. But number two, he's also a very unique competitor, to the point where I would put him up there with like the Blue Angels and the pilots of the Thunderbirds. Did you see what he did before the game?
He went out for the coin toss, I saw.
Because he's a captain. He still takes that role seriously, but he went through his entire pregame routine.
I did not see that. No, I did not.
He's no joke.
It was just caught me that they're going to show a Subway commercial with Russell Wilson when he's on injured reserve.
He might have filmed it a couple years ago, though. You never know.
No, because they had the latest new Subway song.
Hey, good for him. Everybody likes a sandwich every once in a while.
Not that Subway for me, back in the day, was a go-to place. Now for me,
I just think our chemistry's off.
It's off.
Primarily on defense, and we have to fix it, and that's the coach's job. So I'm good with my recap.
Okay, good. Let's go to the Week 6 recap of the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings won the coin toss, and like the Seahawks did, they deferred, which pretty much what every team does right now. On Carolina's first possession, cornerback, been killing them, and I still don't want him, Bashad Breeland. He's been burned all year. He actually made a huge play.
I saw it.
Intercepting Sam Darnold on the first play of the game and setting the Vikings up with excellent field position, which resulted in a Greg Joseph field goal for a 3-0 lead.
Can we talk about that a little bit?
Well, yeah. Well, let me just.
All right,
we can.
All right, we'll come back to him.
We're staying right on. For me, this dude is still a jerk, and he needs to be banished from Viking Kingdom. So you made a play, first one all year after 99 bad ones. I still don't want you. What do you got, Cap?
I was just going to ask, because he's still in the uniform, how you felt about that, knowing that he got a pick that actually helped your team, but not taken away from what he said. And I heard what he said. No respect on that at all.
Yeah,
I just wanted to know how you felt about him being in the uniform and doing something positive. Did you cheer? What did you do?
No, I did not cheer.
Did you almost throw up?
Yeah. I just can't believe that the silence out of the organization on this guy.
Yeah, well, don't think it doesn't go noticed by the team, but I don't want to hold up time on that.
Exactly. All right, next possession. Vikings got Justin Jefferson fumbled, and it resulted in a quick TD for Carolina, which made Carolina up 7-3. The Vikings responded with a field goal from kicker Greg Joseph to cut the score to 7-6. And then they took the lead 12-7 with a TD pass from Cousins to recently acquired tight end Chris Herndon, formerly of the Jets. Why Coach Zimmer decided to go for a 2-point attempt this early, no one knows. No one knows. Unless he remembers the coach doing it to him the week before, and he thought, oh, that's a good idea. Maybe I should try that. It failed! All right. Carolina converted another field goal prior to half, which made it 12-10. Penalties. This is based on coaching. Penalties. Fine them. Bench them.
It's a discipline issue.
Put them on the practice squad. Do something. It was another big issue for the Vikings in the first half. And they accumulated at least 6 that I counted. Oli Uda, guard. He's been playing pretty good. He's a first-year starter on the offensive line. He was in his hometown and had, they said, between 75 and 100 family members there to watch him. He had 2 penalties of holding and another one. Stop worrying about who's in the crowd. Follow the game plan. Anyway, second half, the Vikings' first drive stalled with yet another penalty. Midway,
they never help.
Exactly. I think we had 10 for the game. Midway through the quarter, the Panthers blocked the Vikings punt and ran it from 4 yards out to take a 17-12 lead. I'm going, there's not many block punts in the NFL anymore. So then when they showed the play, they did a stunt, and no one blocked this guy, and he came right up the middle, and punter Barry, he had no chance. He was just following through. But for some strange reason, this mistake, it inspired the Vikings. They scored two TDs in under a minute. 2 TDs in under a minute.
Kirk Cousins doing his thing, man.
So the Vikings lead 25-17 at the end of the third quarter. Another puzzling decision was again to go for the 2-point conversion on the first of the 2 TDs during this scoring session.
Do you think the coach is trying to show some courage now?
No. I think he saw it the week before and he almost lost the game over it. Now he thinks, let's go for 2-point conversions. There's these coaches and these organizations, they have a book that says the proper time to go for a 2-point conversion.
There's a chart.
Yeah, there's a chart.
Yep.
Typically, it's never in the first half of a game. Never, unless you're down by multiple scores. All right. As I analyze what is going on here, Coach Conservative needs to change his ways and let the offense do what it can do. Do not be predictable. I am not saying abandon the running game, but mix up when you pass or run.
You got to do that.
All right, here we go. Fourth quarter. The second fourth quarter in 2 weeks. That just, it haunts me. Vikings get a Greg Joseph field goal to extend the lead to 28-17. I can finally actually sit down to watch some of this game. I don't sit down during a game. Rarely. I was at the stadium. I sat down for some of it, but I don't sit down. That's just not what I do. I'm on edge. I know something's going to go wrong. We're up 28-17. There's 5 minutes left in the game, and we get another chance for Greg Joseph. He lines up for a 49-yard field goal to put us up by 14. There's 5 minutes left in the game, less than 5 minutes. He misses. And I have now informed Wilson to leave the room for his own sake, as this is not going to go well.
Oh, poor Wilson.
We screwed it up last week, Wilson, with 2 minutes left. They had 5. All right, Panthers get a field goal after being stopped at the 5-yard line to cut the score to 28-20. The Vikings move the ball down to the Panthers' 35-yard line, and Coach Conservative, again, refuses to mix in run and pass plays. Run.
Oh, boy.
They're pushed back a little, and it's out of field goal range. And I agree with the decision. They punt the ball, and my new all-time rostered player.
Hall of Famer now.
No, not Hall of Fame. All-time roster. Great punt from Barry. And, again, he made it easy onto my all-time roster as a punter because our history we're not a lot of great punters. I wasn't happy with the play calling when they got to the 35-yard line, but was okay, again, with the decision to punt. As the defense all day was doing a really good job except for some penalties. All right, Panthers have the ball at the 4-yard line, and they do nothing on the first 3 plays.
What about that fourth play?
On 4th down, they complete a 40-yard pass. Hey, Coach Zim, what happened? The Panthers. Then they convert another 4th down for 26 yards and complete the awful that I had to watch 96-yard drive for a TD. I've seen this movie before.
Absolutely.
And the ending remains the same. So I'm saying, okay, what's the percentage rate for a 2-point conversion, Cat? What is it, like 15%?
Not high. I don't think it's that high.
It's not even that high. The Panthers convert the 2-point conversion. The game is tied. Okay. Vikings, they get the ball back. 42 seconds left. 42 seconds and 2 timeouts. Captain, check down. Now I've given him a new name.
Drop it on the folks.
Captain Clutch. Kirk Cousins does it again and gives Vikings kicker Greg Joseph a second week in a row to win the game in regulation. He misses for 47 yards. Except for the yards, it was exactly what he did last week. A chance to... awful. All right.
Painful.
We go to overtime. Vikings win the coin toss. And Captain Clutch, Kirk Cousins, takes the reins and finishes off a 75-yard drive with a 27-yard TD pass to KJ Osborne to secure the victory. 34-28. Another gut-wrenching.
That Osborne kid is really, really good.
Really stepped up as a number 3.
And notice that Kurt did not want to trust the kicker again. Did you pick up on that?
Yeah. I'm going.
He said, I'm doing this myself. I'm driving.
All right, let's get to a fun fact.
I know you're going to dig this.
The Vikings defense.
I see a smile, so something good is coming from the Scolger Nation.
They now have the most sacks in the NFL.
Really?
How do you like them now?
That's tough to hear.
Actually, you know what? They gave up so many points the first 2 games. I can't even imagine how they're even rated like in the top 10.
Guess how many sacks we got in the last game?
1?
Goose egg.
Goose egg.
Yeah, nothing.
All right.
Painful, brother.
Painful. I got it. Did you have any game balls? Because I have some game balls.
No.
All right. Game balls. Let's start with the one and only game ball.
I know who's getting this, but let's hear it.
Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
Formerly Captain Check. Thank you. Formerly Captain. Give me it again. You know what? Give me the Jalen. Can we get
nice
the Jalen horn?
folks.
Is the Jalen? Can we get the Jalen horn queued up? All right, we'll get that. We'll get that at the end. Formerly Captain Check Down. Now, as mentioned, he has a new nickname, Captain Clutch, and it's only as good as you keep it. He has back-to-back, belly-to-belly drives of his team to win with less than 45 seconds left in each of the last 2 games. His drive in overtime after Greg Joseph choked was phenomenal, and he is not the problem for this organization. Kurt, I am giving you a tip of the cap, not from the cap, but he might do it as well. You are playing the best football I've ever seen from you since the Vikings signed you. Give me that skull horn again. All right. And one last thing.
Oh, my
God. Outside
goodness.
of the game, breaking news this week. Vikings cornerback Patrick Peterson hurt his hamstring, and he was placed on injured reserve after this game, and he's now out until at least week 11. Fortunately, Cameron Dantzler, who's been in the doghouse and had a great rookie year, will step in to replace him, and I expect good things.
Well, check this out. I love the transformation that you've undergone from the early weeks of this season with regard to the captain check down phrase to now, week 6. Are you guys at 500?
We are at 500.
Feeling pretty good, right? It seems like the Scolgers are feeling pretty good right now. Captain Checkdown got a new nickname.
We're feeling better.
You know, Captain Clutch. You go into the bye week fairly healthy. You got to still deal with that cornerback situation, but I'm happy for y'all. We are in pain where I'm living right now. We are hurting.
Do we need the medical music in the background again?
But you know what? I can promise you we will not quit. We will not stop fighting. And I'm telling you, it's going to happen. And when it does,
watch out.
This microphone may explode when I get in here because I'm going all the way off. Because it might be the last win we get of the year, but I think we're going to be ready to go.
All right. So,
yes. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you. I needed that, Top Gun. I needed that, brother. Thank you.
On the 1s and 2s, throwing it out there. Okay. So, do you have anything else before we get to the week 7 picks? Because I have one other thing that I'm going out on a limb here, but I wrote it up, so I got it ready.
Yeah, all I got is a quick blurb on our next game. That's it.
Yeah, I'm on a bye next week, so why don't we save that? Save that. Let me. The real deal. He's standing at the doorway.
Oh, hat tilted, y'all.
Hat tipped. The cigar.
His collar popped.
Collar popped. All right.
Got some shiny shoes on.
Let's go outside the box.
Let's go
with the real deal. This podcast is now on episode 11, and I cannot believe that I, the real deal, have not touched on broadcasting. Here's where that changes. There are some all-time greats when it comes to broadcasting. John Madden, Marv Albert, Pat Summerall. But there are also some that are awful. Okay, not awful. They're an embarrassment to the profession. Get them out of here. Now my top 3 of all time, annoying, turn the channel, shut it off completely, NFL announcers.
This is interesting.
Easily, by far, it's not even close. Number 1, Joe Buck.
Oh, boy.
He's not even close. He's the most annoying NFL voice and lack of knowledge announcer that I've ever experienced.
Are you saying Troy Aikman carries him?
No, he's second. Joe Buck is the equivalent to Susan Waldman, who does MLB broadcasts for the Yankees.
Oh, boy, I heard some stuff.
Oh, awful. All right.
So your top two worst are in the same booth?
Yes. Yes. Troy Aikman, hit number 2.
Oh, my God.
If Joe Buck wasn't so far to number 1, Troy Aikman would have stole the show. He often speaks like he's not watching.
Well, who's going to join them in this illustrious company?
He's a total homer who should cover the hometown TV or radio calls.
Yeah.
Not primetime showing. He's awful. Get him out of here. Get him out. Get him out.
Oh, boy.
And number 3.
Who is this?
Thank goodness they got rid of him. I once in a while, he covers other stuff. Thank goodness it's not the NFL anymore. It's Brent Musburger.
Yeah.
Brent Musburger. He would have been higher on this list, but thankfully he has not called games for years. I would have rather watched paint dry, games canceled, or Wilson licking himself endlessly than listen to this tiresome, unprepared individual call NFL games. And I'm out.
They are painful. I've been very upset about some of the stuff Troy Aikman said when they're playing my Hawks. I'm like, man, why don't you just suit up for Dallas and just call it like it is? So, all right, you feel better? Real deal. Thanks for stopping by, bro.
Woo! Rick Flair, he's coming. He's right behind the real deal. Rick!
Y'all can't hear it, but...
Hey, Rick! Hey, Rick, the picks are coming up! Hey, Rick, the picks are coming up! Let's get the music going! Let's go!
I can't get the recap. My next up game, we got a game next week.
It's coming. It's on the bench. We're starting out with that. Get the music!
Let's go. Ride out.
Yo, it's time for the picks, the weekly predictions by them guys. Get your notebooks out because they rarely miss.
Make way for Captain Book when he makes his picks. You can't touch this dude. Reppin' Hawks in the Emerald Nation. All units, battle stations. So welcome to the battle zone. It's a place where Captain Book is never alone. With his guide, he goes by his side. Sporting purple, always ready to ride. A real Viking maniac. Never afraid to go on the attack. And when needed, in comes the real deal. He's got a real feel for NFL skill. So listen close and get the word. Don't be the one who hadn't heard about Captain Book and Blue Gold. Dropping knowledge, truth be told. Pico picks, battle tested.
Woo! All right. We're on the picks. Let's get to the record after week 6 results.
What's the tally?
Cat,
What up?
you were 9-5 for the week, as was I. You now still hold that 1-game lead. You're 63 wins and 29 losses for the season. We're still right around that 70% mark.
That's not bad.
I'm one game behind at 62 and 30. So let's get right to it. Minnesota is on the bye week. Next up is the Cowboys in week 8. So let's get to the Seahawks, who are playing at home on Monday Night Football.
Check it out. You want to kick yours off? Because I'm about to drop some information.
Nah, you go ahead.
Real quick. The series is tied 8-8. Last meeting, we took the L, 33-27 in 2019. We lost again in 2016 with a score of 25-20. We haven't beaten them since 2014. I'm tired of all these streaks, B-Go, that we've been getting busted on this year. We got to change this madness. They're 3-2. We're 2-4. My family, I love my family in Louisiana.
Zach, this is a tough one for you, huh?
Listen, they smelling blood right now.
Yeah, they
With
are.
Russell Wilson being out, I know Marilo, Connie Pucci, everybody down in the point gonna be representing and coming up for Saints to get it done. But you know what? What up, fam? I love y'all. And I know you're rooting against the Hawks, but Lumen Stadium is gonna be rocking. It's gonna be glowing green. And we need this game. It's an NFC game too. We gotta have this. So Jameis Winston, we the seafood capital up in the Pacific Northwest, so we're gonna be waiting for you. Seattle Seahawks, 30. Saints 21. We getting a home win.
30-21. Cap's got the call right
Monday
there.
night, we're gonna shine.
Monday night. You know, my cable, no, my DirecTV, I don't have ESPN.
You don't have it?
No, and
You might have to slide by the crib.
I'm gonna have to do something. It's gone.
I'll be up till midnight
It's gone.
again.
And if I want to get one channel, it's an extra $30 a month. for one
You
channel.
need to get those 3 wishes back.
All right, exactly. No, exactly. I told you they'd screw me. I told you.
Yes, you
All right.
did.
You know what?
Who you got? I know you picking the Saints.
I'm 1 game behind. That's the only way I can catch up.
No, there's a couple upsets coming there.
I'm seeing another error late in the game by Gino.
Speaking of that, breaking news: we just picked up Jacob Eason from the Colts.
Jacob Eason,
quarterback.
All right.
Yeah,
All right,
we just
good.
picked him up.
So what I will say, in your fantasy, if you had started Jalen Hurts last week instead of Gino, you would have won.
I had some problems. I went with my heart.
Anyway, you went with your heart.
I took some lumps.
Didn't work out well.
No, it didn't.
I got New Orleans taking the road win in a close game, 24-20.
Understood.
But I got you. What was your final score, Cap?
30 Seattle, 21 New Orleans.
30-21. Okay. Let's move on to the other Week 7 game predictions. Denver at Cleveland, the Thursday night game. You know, I thought Cleveland was on the right track, but right now they have way too many injuries. Both running backs are out, and possibly Baker Mayfield. I'm seeing Denver coming in and taking the game 24-20.
That's a good Broncos team. I have Denver going in, getting a W 24-10.
All right, good. So, yeah, Cleveland, without 2 running backs, I don't even know who their 3rd running back is. All right, let's move KC at Tennessee. Tennessee made a statement against Buffalo. A surprising one, by the way, for me. This is one of the 2 games of the week. But I see Kansas City 34, Tennessee 31.
All right, now this might be a chance for you to make up that ground again because I'm taking Tennessee 30, Kansas City 28.
All right, now we both have very close games, and what we always talk about, Cap. You get tape on these teams, and the Chiefs are living that this year. You get tapes on these teams, and Andy Reid has not made the adjustments.
And it's a home game for Tennessee. And did you see?
I did.
The big man?
I did.
Oh boy,
I did.
They're gonna be upset.
He's a beast. All right, Washington at Green Bay. Even though I don't like it, Green Bay continues to win 30-20 over the Skins.
Yeah.
Actually, it's the Washington football team. My bad.
That's right. I got Green Bay holding serve 28, Washington 13.
All right, let's move on to Cincy at Baltimore. This is the other game of the week for me. Joe Burrow has been running his mouth, though they can't hear him because he had that throat injury. So we shall see. But he's running his mouth that they're the team this year. They're the chosen ones. So I'm seeing Baltimore, who I've been very impressed with as well, winning 27-24.
And where's that game at?
It's at Baltimore.
Oh yeah, Baltimore gets that done. They're gonna get 30. I didn't have it on my list. And Cincinnati's not getting that win. I'll give Cincinnati 10.
You got Baltimore with 30. 30-10, you got a blowout.
Yeah, that defense for Baltimore is no joke.
All right, cool. If they hit him in the throat once, he might not be able to call the plays.
Oh, they just got to make some noise, and then
Exactly.
They can't hear him.
All right.
And I like Burrow too, but not that day.
I do too. Carolina at the Giants. Carolina gets back on track after the loss to the Minnesota Vikings with a road win, 20-17.
Upset coming.
All right.
New York Giants going to go
No Saquon,
21-10 to 20. It's going to be tight.
21-20. Cap.
New York,
got the
I'm calling
upset.
it
That's his
upset.
upset of the week right there.
That's one of them. I might have 3.
All right. Next game, Atlanta at Miami. Tough game to call. I originally chose Miami in a close game because they're home, but they did not play well last week. But I'm going to stick with it. You should go with your first gut. I got Miami 21, Atlanta 20.
Yeah, that was a tough one too, but I'm sticking with Miami 28, Atlanta 17.
Okay, final 1 p.m. game. The New York Jets at the Tayog and the Patriots. Patriots are the better team. Simple. It's not. And I've been using the Jets in my lock of the week. I could have used them, but I chose another one. I got New England 24, Jets 13.
Not bad, not close, or that's pretty close to my score. I have the Patriots 30, Jets 13. Patriots will not lose us at home.
Cool. 4 o'clock games. Philly at the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders hold off the Eagles 27-24. And I've been impressed with the Eagles.
Yeah, this is another one we're going to switch up. I got the Philly team coming in 28, Raiders 24.
Close game. We both have close games. 27-24, 28-24. Okay, let's move on to Detroit at the LA Rams. Rams. This is my lock of the week. Rams cruise to a victory, 31-17.
Yeah, I have the Rams getting that done, 31-10. I just don't think
31-10.
the Lions are strong enough.
Exactly. So I noticed that I didn't catch it until I listened to the podcast. I think you picked Arizona to lose last week just so they'd get a loss, so the Seahawks would get closer.
Yeah, we needed that, but they showed up, and now they get respect, even more respect.
Let's move on to the Bears at the Buccaneers. Tampa Bay, they hold serve at home, 24-13.
Tampa Bay 40, Chicago 18.
All right. Houston, the final 4 o'clock game. Houston at Arizona. This is an easy breezy win. I got Cardinals 34, Texans 14.
I have Cards 35, Houston 14.
All right, so we're right there. Okay, so I'm looking at my Monday night game, Indy at San Francisco, and I got no notes. so I'm picking this on the fly. I didn't get to this game. All right, Indy at San Francisco. You know what? Because I think I struggle with it. You don't know which quarterback's going to show up for San Francisco. Indianapolis has been pretty decent, but they're on the road here. I think San Francisco needs the win. So I'm going to go San Francisco at home, 20-17.
Another one we're flipping on. I'm taking the Colts to go into that environment and get it done. No George Kittle. Colts 21.
Is that the number 3 tight end in the league right now behind Waller and
Ertz? You know Ertz got traded too.
Not Ertz, the guy from Kansas City.
Oh, Travis Kelce.
Kelce's first. Waller moved up to second, and Kittle's dropped down to third. Yeah.
Kittle's number 2.
Kittle's not on the field.
He's number 2 though.
Oh.
I'm gonna send you some training video to help you understand what he really is about.
I'll send you my training video, and then we'll show you. We'll match him up.
Yeah, the nighttime sprints.
Exactly.
Baby.
No, right arm, left arm, solo cut.
So listen, if I didn't get that score out there,
you did not.
Okay, I got the Colts 21, 49ers 20. Sunday Night Football.
All right, you got a close game. Okay, let's move on to our fantasy football league. Cap, the music that we have underlaying for this piece, I'd like you to speak about.
Well, check it out, y'all. A little while ago, we dropped something on you. You may not have paid attention to it as much, but today we want you to pay attention to it. This is my man, Johnny King. This is going to be on his new CD album when it comes out. It's called Justice, and we're gonna always make sure everybody gets justice on this show.
Exactly.
So Johnny King, love you, brother.
Exactly.
And we're going to rock out to your music while we get these fantasy picks in.
Exactly. So, justice for our fantasy football teams.
And I need it bad.
Let me give you the update. The Real Deal has improved to 4-2 and now owns the highest weekly points total, 192 this week, and still and will continue to hold down first place to the end of the year in the East Division, while the Caps team, Destiny's Travelway, he was defeated and is now 1-5.
It was respectable, though.
I do not have the score.
It was close.
It was close.
We needed like 5 more points from A.J. Brown, and they didn't give it to us.
Right. If you had started Jalen Hurts, I think you would have won this week.
Yeah, left a lot of points on the bench.
So there were calls placed to the organization, and they were not returned to Destiny Travelways. And the calls were not returned.
They didn't return the calls?
And the calls centered around why running back Kenyon Drake is not starting. Cap, your response?
He's starting now. That's easy.
That's easy. Okay, so as we move into the Week 7 starters, my team has 4 guys on the bye. Josh Allen's on the bye. James Robinson, my running back. Stephon Diggs, my wide receiver. And the Minnesota defense, they're all on byes. So I'm shuffling around here. I last week picked up Cordell Patterson, who's actually listed as a running back. I'm going to slide him in for James Robinson. I got Stafford, who I'm going to slide in for Josh Allen. At wide receivers, I've been trying to play this guy because he scores like 17 points every week. Deebo Samuel will get started.
Oh, okay.
My only issue I have is I do not have a second defense on my roster. I'm probably going to cut. I think I know who I'm going to cut. I'm not going to give it away because Cap's in the league. But I need to pick up a defense. There's three available that I'm looking at. And Cap, you might be interested in this.
Nope. I ride with the Hawks every week. It doesn't matter.
No, I'm saying who I'm going to pick up for my defense.
Okay.
Because I got to cut somebody to get a defense, or otherwise I just don't get 0 for that. I can either pick up the Colts at San Francisco. I could pick up the Panthers at the Giants, which is probably where I'm going to go if they're available. Or I could pick up the Saints at the Seahawks.
roll the dice and take the Saints.
Okay.
and see what happens.
If I get a turnover, that's a bunch of points.
Yeah, or if they get lit up.
If they get lit up. Exactly. So what do you got this week, Cap?
All right, so quarterback, I got Jalen Hurts from Philly starting. Kenyon Drake, my bad, bro. I should have started you earlier, man. He's a running back for Las Vegas Raiders. He's up. Alex Collins came through for me last week. He's going to come through for us again. He started.
How long is Carson out?
Don't know. He's a minimum of 3 weeks, I believe. And I'll look for an injury report today and see what I can find. Wide receiver Jalen Waddle, man, my bad, from Miami. I should have started you last week. We would have won. Wide receiver A.J. Brown, Tennessee, he's out there. And my flex, Devontae Smith from Philly. If I would have started you, we would have won. So my bad. Tight end Will Dissly, Seattle. Defense, Seattle. Kicker, Jason Myers, also makes tackles on kickoff team. Seattle. That's how we roll.
No points for that, though. But I will say this, a big loss this week not being able to start CeeDee Lamb because he's on a bye.
Yeah,
because he scores a lot of points.
Yeah, I almost started him anyway, but we need to try to get some wins.
All right, so let's go, Scolders, 12s, and all you football fanatics. Thank you for tuning in today, and make sure to get the word out on the street to check out all of our episodes. We continue to grow, and we're getting some feedback with some really good comments. The Vikings have a bye this week, which gives us a chance to rest up before the Week 8 matchup against the Cowboys. But as luck would have it, they have a bye week as well, so we're not going to have any advantage going into that. So looking forward to the week off. I'm going to do my
win sprints.
Yeah, we're going to get ready for the 40-yard dash, and I'm also going to get the history of the Solo Cup, and then that should be interesting for the listeners out there. Anyway, Cap, as you always do, please bring us home.
They call me to the bridge, and I always show up when they call me. Our Scolders have a week off to reflect on their journey, nurse some old wounds, and reevaluate Coach Zimmer's work product so far as they prepare for a major clash with the Dallas Cowboys. Best wishes to you. For us 12s in Emerald Nation, we don't get a break. The battle rages on. We have yet another fantastic voyage to create, and we will do that. We have 6 battles under our belt, and things may not look good. Just understand. We don't have a bunch of quitters wearing blue and green. We have disciplined, skilled combatants, and we will fight on. On Sunday, in Lumen Stadium, all Seahawks and everyone in the Emerald Nation, Emerald up, green lights everywhere, so the team knows the go, go, go signal is on. All gas, no brakes. No time to waste, and you know how we do it. Here's the toast I promised. Glasses and Solo Cups in the air. To the Hawks and Emerald Nation and Scolders, go Hawks. Y'all be good. Peace.